So, hi everyone. Making this video to show how I went about troubleshooting the water pump on my 1984 Porsche 944. So, what I did was to create a reservoir to kind of mimic the radiator, and I took the thermostat out. So, here I'll drop down. I'll show you kind of what's going on here. So I have a reservoir with enough water in it to kind of bring the water level up inside the engine compartment past the water pump. So I know for certain that I'm not deadheading the pump. So that's it. It is a 27.44 liter hefty container and transparent so that you can see the water level very easily. I have it on a little 9-inch crate, some plumbing connections, and 1¼ inch ID transparent vinyl tubing, which was surprisingly stiff. So that's it. All these components are available at the local box store hardware chain like Lowe's, and it didn't take too long to make. A couple of hours, it's all said and done, between finding the parts and building it, installing it on the car. One thing to note, the plumbing that I put in here actually has a drain plug. Notice how I have it mounted out of the way so it's not next to the inlet, but I put a drain plug in here. Actually came with the pipe stub, but that way when I want to dump this, it's not leaking all over my garage, although everything else seems to be leaking all over my garage today. So I don't know how many gallons are in here, but you can see it's mostly full, and I just tried to mimic the water level in the radiator as best I could. Higher water levels is obviously better than lower. Hi, so yeah, I just wanted to add a little more detail. You can probably figure this out for yourself by intuition, but the lower radiator, the lower hose for this test rig is attached to the pump inlet via the lower radiator hose. So you can probably see it there. There's the radiator hose going up to the pump inlet. So this is just kind of connected to the stub end of the lower radiator hose. I got a pipe nipple at the hardware store and made sure it was the right OD to fit in these tubes. And yeah, so that's how I have it hooked up. It's leaking just a little bit, but for the most part it's watertight. So there we go. Oh yeah, and I guess I should tell you that the most important part is that my water pump is not working. So this, with the car running, it's not running now, but this with the car running should have a full stream of kind of translucent green from the water mixture and the residual antifreeze in the engine, and there was nothing coming out. Absolutely nothing. So there's absolutely no suction, no discharge, and it's kind of what I suspected, because when I was running the car before as a test, the upper radiator hose was pretty much not solid at all. Like it didn't feel like there was anything in it. So, and that was at temperature, yeah, with the engine properly vented. So, yep, looks like I'm into it for a water pump.